Greetings, pilgrims. It's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and you are watching the Sense of Wonder YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's Sunday, and that means we're going to visit a cathedral, a basilica, a church. And up until now, we visited some really big and beautiful cathedrals, gothic cathedrals that are just magnificent in scope and architecture and size and stained glass. But this week I got something different for you. We're going to be visiting a tiny little one-room church in the north of Spain called the Church of Santiago. But there's something really special about this place. I'll tell you more. So before I tell you what makes this little church in northern Spain unique, I'd like to give you a little bit of background. It'll bring the story more to life for you and help you to appreciate more of what it's really all about. This is a map of Spain, and that red line there is a pilgrimage route that people have been walking for 1,400 years, starting in France, going all the way to the west coast of Spain to a place called Santiago de Compostela. It's 500 miles if you have American legs, and it's 800 kilometers if you have European legs. And I walked this pilgrimage. It took me 43 days. But now I want to show you that there is a small town with a population of about 3,000 people called Vilafranca del Bierzo, right there on the pilgrimage. The pilgrimage passes right through the town. And it's about 125 miles from the final destination. And the big thing about this is that for the 1,400 years, walking this pilgrimage was extremely dangerous. People would die from the weather, from starvation, from sickness and illness, from bandits. You know, we live in modern times and things are not like that anymore, but it was very dangerous to walk this pilgrimage. And because it was a pilgrimage, there were often many people who walked it were ill to begin with, hoping for indulgences to help with their health. So in this little town, there's a church. And this is an overhead view map showing the location of the church. And here I'm going to show you a couple more pictures here. This one's a close-up. On the left there is the church, the Church of Santiago, and on the right there is a little pilgrim's inn that when I was walking the pilgrimage, I stayed for one night there, and after I checked in the afternoon, I walked over to the church. And we're going to go inside. I got some pictures and some video for you. And also here, you can see this red line is the pilgrimage route. That's what pilgrims walk, right along that path, right through the town. Which I think that's kind of interesting. So let's actually do that. This is kind of fun. I got some fun video here for you that I got off of Google Maps. So now we're on the actual pilgrimage route. And there is the little Pilgrim's Inn that I stood in for one night. And they're really cheap. They're usually like $5, $7 a night because it's specifically for pilgrims. You can't just stay there. You have to be an accredited pilgrim. And then so after I checked in, I walked up to the church. And you can see it's unlike, that's it on the left there. And that doorway, we're going to take another look at that doorway, but I got more to say about it. That's what makes this church really special. But we're going to let's go around a little bit more. But just a simple one-room church, and I think it was built in like the 11th or 12th century. Isn't that amazing? And of course, this town in Spain goes back even centuries before that. So there's a bit of humility to something like that, you know. Let's walk up just for fun, and to get a little closer with the Google Maps stuff. And these people here in the videos or the pictures are, might be pilgrims. This is a pilgrim's inn too, or a pilgrim stay for the night. Now we can't go in with this, but I did go in and I got pictures and video. And I'm going to tell you the story of that doorway. So about that doorway, it is called the Puerta del Perdón, the portal of pardon. And what it is like I said, that, the pilgrimage being an extremely difficult undertaking, and many people died along the way. This doorway is specifically built and specifically made for people that were extremely ill and got to within 125 miles of the end destination, which is the city of Santiago de Compostela. They could receive their indulgences, forgiveness for their sins, or whatever their indulgences they were asked for, because they were dying, if they passed through this doorway. So they would open the door, and the dying pilgrim would pass through it and receive their indulgences. And I think that's really amazing. And nowadays, I think it hasn't been opened for 20 years or so, more than 20 years. And the last time it was opened, I think 4 or 6 people actually were allowed to pass through it. So that's a really interesting thing, the Puerta del Perdón, beautiful tradition. So here you go, let's go inside. And as you can see, it's just a very simple, small church, almost a chapel, although quite beautiful. And here in this picture, you can see there on the left is the Puerta del Perdón. Puerta del Perdón. And here's some video. So very different, not your usual Gothic cathedral that I've been showing you, but still great significance to this place. I love it. So while you're a pilgrim, you get something called a pilgrim's credential. And every day you have to get a stamp from a different place, a little town, a church, a pilgrim's inn, in your credential to prove that you're walking the pilgrimage. So, and here, that's the stamp I got from the little pilgrims in here, and that's the stamp that I got inside this little church. There was a person in there behind a little table that gave stamps. And I'll show you, just for fun, my favorite stamp here, probably my favorite stamp. I got some Knights Templar stamps, but that one is one of a blacksmith that was along the trail. So that's it. The Puerta del Perdón in a little church in northern Spain. Right there. The Church of Santiago. So I just wanted to say, we're going to the Sense of Wonder Museum because I got a couple more videos for you, but I just wanted to say that you are a pilgrim, and life is your pilgrimage, and make the most of every single step, and never lose that sense of wonder.